I will call to order the June 5th Executive Committee public hearing for Tippecanoe County Area Plan Commission. And first on the agenda is a roll call.
Larry Leverins, Jackson Bogan, Gary Schroeder,
Present.
Jerry Reynolds, Greg Jones,
Present.
Tom Murtaugh,
Present.
Kathy Parker,
Present.
quorum present.
Very good. We have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes from May 1st, 2024, public hearing as submitted.
I second.
So I have a motion and a second. Any comments or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. New business. We have a belated request, so we'll take the motion for that.
I move to hear and vote on the request to authorize the hearing of a belated request for subdivision extension for S3628 Hickory Ridge, Phase 4.
I second.
All right. Okay, it's going. All right, there we go. All right, there's our location. Sorry about that little flutter. So what we have here is a request going back from 2005, February 2005, for a 40-lot single-family residential subdivision. It's nearly built out, and let's see. Whoa. And this last section has expired, so they are requesting for the ability to ask for an extension, first of all. And so staff does not have any problem with this. The conditions that it was approved under are still in place. There's nothing that's changed materially about this, so we are recommending approval to authorize the filing of the belated extension. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So we have approved them to file the belated request. So next on the agenda, we will hear that request.
I move to hear and vote on S3628 Hickory Ridge subdivision, Phase 4 extension requests 1 through 5.
I second.
Okay. Well, as I just said, the original approval was from 2005 for 40 lots. As you see before you, the secondary plat extension request shows 37 lots. They've reconfigured some things stated in the staff report. If granted, this would kind of kick the can down the road for another couple of years to February of 2025. All the conditions are still solid, as we stated in the report, and so there's really not much else to discuss about it, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, we are recommending approval of the extension.
Thank you, Ryan. Petitioner, the representative.
Good afternoon. I'm James Hall with Vester and Associates, surveyor and designer on this project, representing Mr. Kirchhoff and Kirchhoff Brothers, LLC. This project, we're well underway in design work. The plans have already been submitted. We're getting positive feedback from the town for the utilities, and just recently received a good short list of drainage items from the county drainage board consultant. So we're hopefully get this going, and we'll be here again for approval soon.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone from the audience wish to comment on this? Questions from the board? Hearing none, we have a yellow ballot.
We have a unanimous ballot for approval.
Very good. Thank you, Ryan. Public hearing, I'll take that. I guess I'll read my motion first. For those of you unfamiliar with our procedure, the Commission would like for you to know the following. When we hear requests to subdivide land, we are only concerned as to whether the actual drawings showing the division into lots meets the technical requirements of our ordinance. The question of appropriateness has already been determined. Anyone wishing to make comments or provide us with information regarding any subdivision petition will be given an opportunity to do so. We are a 7-member body, and a majority of 7 is 4. Regardless of how many commissioners are actually present, at least 4 votes in favor or 4 votes against are required for our action to be official. If fewer than 4 of us agree to either approve or disapprove an action, the case must be heard again next month. Our vote on a request to subdivide is final. When addressing the commission, please state your name and address for the record. Please limit your statements to more than 5 minutes, and we ask that you not repeat what others before you've already said. Cell phones must be turned off while the meeting is in session. If you need to make a call, please step out of the room before doing so. All exhibits presented to the commission become property of the commission, and I'll take the public hearing motion.
I move that there be incorporated into the public hearing portion of each application to be heard this evening and to become part of the evidence at such hearing, the unified zoning ordinance, the unified subdivision ordinance, the comprehensive plan, the bylaws of the Area Plan Commission, the application and all documents filed therewith, the staff report and recommendation on all applications to be heard this evening, and responses from the checkpoint agencies.
And we have a second for that?
Oh, I second, sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries, and we can let the record show that Mr. Reynolds has joined the meeting. Now we're on to subdivisions. So I'll take the next motion for,
I move to hear and vote on S 5193 John Purdue Block subdivision minor sketch.
I second.
okay, staff.
Okay, thank you. All right, so right here in downtown Lafayette, the John Purdue block goes back a ways from the original plat of the city. The lots in question are basically 8 lots, parts of lots, the old First Street right-of-way, et cetera, as you can see there in the map. They mean to consolidate all of it under one consolidated lot, so much cleaner look. I don't know why that's...
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, since we're having technical problems.
Just wait till we get there.
Okay. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not working there. Well, let me go ahead and continue with the presentation. The proposal is for a new multifamily commercial mixed-use development. A 4-story office building, kind of the non-historic building, located at the corner of Columbia and 2nd, will be taken down, and then the rest of the site will be under redevelopment, minus the original John Purdue building block. There we go. There's a good aerial.
There we go, Jerry.
We do have some variance considerations here, subdivision variance considerations. Basically, the first is primary arterials require 80 foot of right-of-way. Obviously, that's impractical and not needed by the city here. 60-foot rights-of-way were established long ago, and that suits the city just fine. So the Lafayette Board of Works on May 28th did approve reducing those right-of-way extents legally to 60 feet, and this body's approval will sort of ratify that decision. Of course, city utilities are available. There are no public improvements necessary. Everything's already out there. And the project itself does conform to the CB zone. So if you look at the recommendation page, our subdivision variances are essentially for a 30-foot half-width instead of 40 for all of the streets in question, which is 2nd, South Street, and Columbia. And the conditions themselves are actually fairly standard. So I believe we have 2 ballots on this one, the variances and then the subdivision approval. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Thank you. Petitioner or the representative wish to make a presentation.
Hello, my name is Drew Tharp. I'm here from Gutwein Law on behalf of the petitioners and property owners. I don't have a lot to add to what Ryan just said, other than bringing all of this into one lot will simplify and clean up decades and decades of easements and cross easements and vacations and gifts and will certainly streamline things for future development. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Very good, thank you. Anyone from the audience wish to speak to this? Questions or comments from the commission?
I just had one. There was a strip right behind behind that block. That was a utility, everything was underground. There used to be an island that sat there, and then they took the island down. Is that vacated then? It used to be kind of I know you all don't remember this, but it used to be a little street that went through there.
Yeah, it's
And then there
First
was-
Street. It was vacated by the city.
Yeah, but how about that little right-of-way that run from the back of that building down there? Only
I'm sure
because
the
this
developer
come
can
up
speak
once
to this.
before.
Yeah. I can only assume that it has been vacated if it's within the boundaries of that subdivision legal
Well,
extent.
I know you said the right-of-way was cut down, and I remember it was cut down at that time, I thought 15 feet.
Mhm.
That's how they got that island removed back there.
Yeah, no, there is no longer any right-of-way within the legal
Okay,
description of this
all right.
subdivision.
I just asked.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Good question. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, first we have our variances, 1, 2, and 3. We do variances first, do separately?
Yes.
Opposed? Okay, so we have our variance ballot first.
We have a unanimous ballot on the variances.
Very good. Now we have subdivision. Was there bonding or no bonding? No bonding. Okay. Thank you. Very good.
That was unconditional. Was that unconditional? Conditional. Yeah.
There's two that show vacated. I had a hard time even reading it.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
Doug tried to get that island and stuff out of there, and the island, and he said no, and then they turned around.
Is it here?
It runs
And we have a unanimous ballot for approval.
Very good. Thank you, Ryan. Now we'll take approval of the June APC public hearing agenda.
I move to place the UZO Amendment 112 on the June 18th, 2024 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Rezone petitions, please.
I move that the following rezone petitions be placed on the June 18th, 2024 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda. Z 2920 Landmark Properties, Inc., the standard at West Lafayette, PD, R3W to PDRS, and Z 2932 BET LLC, R1 to R2.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Approval of the June ABZA public hearing agenda.
I move the following petitions be placed on the June 26, 2024 Area Board of Zoning Appeals public hearing agenda. BZA 2159 RJG Investments LLC, BZA 2160 Brent Jackson, BZA 2161 Thomas and Aaron Albrechts, and BZA 2162 Grayson G. Mitchell Woodrow.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Lafayette Division, ABZA.
I move the following request for variance from the Unified Zoning Ordinance is not a request for use variance prohibited from consideration by ordinance and statute. 2024-11, Second Baptist Church.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Review and approval of the May budget report.
I move we approve the May 2024 budget report as submitted.
I second.
Nothing unusual this month, but happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Other business, okay. We have, Tracy is not here. The Budget and Personnel Committee held an interview for a new director. I don't know the exact date, a week or so ago. We had an interview, and we selected Ryan O'Gara as the new director and made him an offer. And we'd like for this board to make a motion to send it to the full commission for his ratification. Is that the proper word? Favorable recommendation as a new Plan Commission director. Any other comments from people that were at the interview or comments?
Ryan's the man for the job.
Well said.
Do we need a motion?
We will take a motion for that.
I make a motion that we accept Ryan.
We send it to the Plan Commission, full commission
Full
for his
commission.
approval as the new
As
director.
a new director.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have a motion. Do
A
we have-
second.
So we have a motion, and a second. Any other comments on that? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, that motion is approved. Congratulations, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Very
I
happy
appreciate
about
it
that.
greatly.
Looking forward to working with you there.
I move we adjourn.
No, I second,
We're adjourned.
or I don't.
Okay, I'm sorry, did you have something else?
Yeah, yeah.
Probably. Getting close.
Just give me a marker. We'll just mark out
Yeah.
assistant. Yeah, just mark it.
We have a budget.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. That's okay. You take whatever you need to do. We got our quorum here. Thank you. Do you need to leave? Good. Don't worry about it. Good. Are we ready for the next meeting? We ready for the next meeting, Christina, you think? Yep, as far as you're concerned? Okay. So I will call to order the Area Plan Commission, Tippecanoe County Ordinance and Bylaw Committee meeting for June 5th, 2024. And first on the agenda, we have approval of the minutes. So I take a motion for the approval of the minutes from the May 1st, 2024 meeting.
I move we approve the minutes from the May 24th, 2024 meeting.
I second.
A motion is second. Comments or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next, short-term rental amendment.
Way to refresh everyone's memory. Obviously, we just advanced it to the public hearing to June, and this, there was a pretty lively discussion last month, and we do have the opportunity of this meeting to continue that discussion, even though the current West Lafayette request is going to advance per state code. So we are, I think, one thing that was at issue was other localities, other legislative bodies showing interest, even though they didn't necessarily codify that in a resolution to APC. Only West Lafayette did that. So I guess I'll turn it back over to the board here. And
Okay, very good. Thank you,
Is
Ron.
that required? Do we,
it's per state code, it's not necessarily required. It doesn't necessarily say they shall pass a resolution, but that's sort of the typical, if you want a paper trail, that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
So that's how
good to
we've
know.
sort of been rolling of late with these sorts of things in order to kind of be in line with state code, is say, just pass a resolution. That way there's a clear paper trail that the locality made a request. We're now fulfilling it, and off it goes, and so.
Because I see on this, it also includes, besides City of West Lafayette, which of course they passed a resolution.
Yes.
We have Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, but we have Battleground, Dayton, and Clarks Hill, and I'm not sure of their wishes. Do you know?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would make sense to pull them first.
Yeah, and then get the
Yeah.
official.
Yeah, and that's why it's best to have it in writing, just a simple resolution passed. That way it's crystal clear that there's a public action requesting this,
Okay.
and there's nothing in the shadows.
Okay,
So-
great. We'll hear from our town representative.
I don't know that Battleground has any real issues. We do have one resident who is currently an Airbnb host, a super host, and I don't know of any complaints.
Okay.
Other than that, I honestly I haven't heard of any other properties in Battleground.
Okay. So what this does, this will prohibit any Airbnbs in the R1 zone. So if they're there, they're grandfathered. But
Yes.
So I guess, I don't know, maybe you should discuss it. I don't know what your wishes are at the town board, see what they want to do, if they want to exclude them or adopt this or not.
We would exclude them, I think, for sure, if this were to go forward.
You mean that property?
Yes.
Now, I'm talking about
The
this.
town itself.
The
You want
town,
us
would
to
you-
exclude from this
you-
ordinance?
No, the ordinance says that Airbnbs will no longer be allowed in the R1 zone, period. They cannot come for a special exception. They'd have to get rezoned to R2 or R3. So this is, pick a word, moratorium, or they're just not allowed in an R1 zone. That's what West Lafayette chose to do. They passed a resolution. So I'm thinking if you guys have not discussed that or don't understand it, we should take you out of this, let you discuss it as a town board.
We have not discussed it.
Okay. So I think I would think it would make sense to exclude you, the other towns, make them aware and see what they want to do. We'll just come forward with another ordinance.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be easy enough to, if this advances just for the city of West Lafayette, then that's a simple text edit. And then if other localities want to join the party, so to speak, it'd be easy to edit that text.
We'll just do another one.
Correct.
Okay. So
You're saying right now this is just what's.
I'm saying that I would entertain a motion to exclude every locale except West Lafayette, unless somebody else wants to be on board. And the other issue was, and I talked to Eric about this, and I'll hear his comment, is it's pretty clear that the other jurisdictions that adopted the Airbnb ordinance prior to the state law, they're clearly grandfathered. They can make a change. West Lafayette has a different exemption because they had a rental program in place. Now, whether the state law changes again, or there's court cases that would challenge that would give new direction, I think it's cleaner that they kind of stand on their own because they have their own reason for being able to pass this, is my thought. Everyone else is pretty clearly. I don't know if you thought about that.
No,
We
I
did
think
kind of
it's-
discuss that.
I agree with your analysis. There are slightly different statutory justifications for the other two units, Tippecanoe and Lafayette being those two, than West Lafayette. They're all statutorily authorized, but they're slightly different. So I agree. The only question and I agree with the notion that if these towns have not said, oh, please pick us, that the smart thing to do would be to exclude them, because there's no point in going forward unless there's been a request. My understanding is that the county and the city of Lafayette have requested that they be involved. Now, we talked about the fact that there's slightly different statutory reasons for the exemption, so that it doesn't apply, but I'm not sure that that matters. If Tippecanoe and the city have asked, it could go forward with
Yeah.
them also.
And if it does, then they could have that debate at their council meeting,
And then they either
because they'll have an
decide
up or
to do it
down
or
vote
not
on the
formally.
change.
It would
So-
expedite things.
Right, the
since we
towns
know
would
their
too, but as
interest.
you said, they've not actually expressed an
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
County and city have, so,
So they've made you aware, or we have our representatives here that are going to
yes.
say that they've made you
Yes,
officially?
they have made us aware, not via a passed resolution, but that, again, that's not a requirement.
Right.
But if
Via
one
email.
commissioner and one city councilor
Yeah.
can speak for the rest of the body, then at least bring it to us for an up or down vote, and we'll discuss it in our own council meeting. You know, we
Pretty
can
much.
give that to them.
Yeah, and pretty much like the mayor said, well, you know, we're on board with whatever's going on, so he didn't say whether it was excluded,
Sure.
included.
So I'd recommend at least sending them to the other two localities and let
Yeah,
them debate it.
And so I'm not,
So I'm slightly confused here. So would it make some sense to give the three communities a chance to have a conversation and then discuss it at our next meeting and then potentially move it forward to the full APC after that for Lafayette, West Lafayette, and any of those three cities or communities that want to?
I think that we should move forward. West Lafayette made an official, it's on the agenda. I think we need to move forward with West Lafayette.
Yes,
Without a-
statutorily, we do have to advance West Lafayette
Without a doubt.
at the
yes.
least.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
West Lafayette would
yeah.
like that very much.
Yes,
Yeah, we will
I'm
do
not,
that. It's
I'm
on
not
the-
talking about that. West Lafayette's moving forward.
Right.
Yes, but would it make sense for Tippecanoe County and Lafayette, who have expressed an interest to do the same thing, to hold off for a month until we hear back from the
And then put all
incorporated
that in one
and put all that
ordinance.
in one?
Yeah. that would-
But I don't want to speak for the city of Lafayette. Are you okay with holding off for a month?
yeah, I think, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Defer to your judgment, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, our conversation was, the mayor's was, we can get on board, or, I mean, whatever gonna happen's happened, So,
Right.
Okay.
I mean, if there's interest, it'll be easy enough to just craft another revised ordinance to include you without holding up West Lafayette.
yeah, and I'd rather
So,
see Dennis Carson and the mayor actually make this decision
Yeah,
than me.
agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That being said, I think I'll get some public input. If anybody in the audience wishes to speak to this issue, we're discussing please come forward if you understand what we're talking about.
James Miller, resident of the town of Battleground, 5-year host of an Airbnb property with, forget the name of it, it's the top tier of certification, meaning that we've got excellent records. I don't think what's being discussed here impacts us. I'd like to say that it seems, I tend to agree with what this stipulates, and I think it's going to be beneficial for the community, and especially if it encourages homeownership, individual homeownership, which I believe it does encourage. That's all I have to say right now.
Okay, very good. Anyone else wishing to speak to this issue?
Zachary Bale, 124 Connolly Street, West Lafayette. Thank you for moving the West Lafayette component forward and decoupling them. Just one point of record, too. It doesn't forbid Airbnbs in total, just transient guest houses classification of Airbnbs. Just make sure that that's on the record. But otherwise, yeah, looking forward to the APC meeting where this will be discussed in full. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks for the clarification. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Superhost.
Superhost. Very good. Superhost. Anyone else wishing to speak? Yep, please come forward.
My name is Cheryl Kirkpatrick. I live at 801 Carrollton Boulevard, West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. And as you know, I am for the prohibition of Airbnbs permanently, forever and always. And then hopefully, after that gets taken care of, we can go after the existing ones and convince those people who own them that they would like to sell them to a single family with children to keep our wonderful school system going. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Cheryl. Anyone else wishing to speak to this?
Hello, my name is Cedric D. Hugh. I live at 3395 Putnam Street. I apologize for missing the first few moments of this meeting. I assume you received the letter that I submitted with information. I want to thank you for taking the time to hear my perspective. Thank you for the discussion and consideration during last month's meeting and the time to understand West Lafayette's perspective regarding Indiana Code 36.1-24.1. Unfortunately, this committee did not receive a complete understanding of this code section's application to West Lafayette. As mentioned before, Tippecanoe County and others adopted Amendment 88 in 2017, and mention was made of the Indiana Code Section 1A that states that the chapter does not apply to any unit that has adopted a zoning ordinance before January 1st, 2018. However, West Lafayette did not adopt Amendment 88 in 2017. West Lafayette didn't adopt 88 until 2022. West Lafayette states that its 1976 Rental Housing Inspection and Certification Ordinance also allows the Indiana Code section to not apply to West Lafayette, allowing West Lafayette to amend its current ordinance without being subject to the Indiana Code sections 9 and 10 specifically. This is not a complete analysis. West Lafayette is subject to those Indiana Code sections. West Lafayette repealed its 1976 Rental Housing Inspection and Certification Ordinance in 2019. And there's you have in the information you provided the relevant sections. Indiana Code 36.1.24.1D states, however, in repealing the ordinance, the unit concurrently becomes subject to this chapter. I ask that by repealing the 1976 ordinance in 2019, West Lafayette became subject to Indiana Codes sections 1, 9, and 10, at least as early as 2019. This proposed ordinance is in violation of Indiana Code section 9 and 10. Furthermore, West Lafayette's 2022 anti-Airbnb ordinance, 3522, the anti-Airbnb ordinance, is also in violation of Indiana Code sections 9 and 10, as discussed before. I ask the Tippecanoe County Ordinance and Bylaws Committee to reject this proposed ordinance amendment in consideration of Indiana Code.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Final call. Questions or comments from the commission? To address Mr. DeHue's comments, I think that West Lafayette's will probably be passed because they have the right to write their own ordinance. And even though you make some good points, I don't think it's our place to interpret law. I mean, they claim that they have an exemption, and we have to accept that, and it can be challenged in court, and the court will decide whether they apply or not. That's not something we can do. I mean, but thank you for pointing that out. So, now, Eric, I don't know if you have any other comments on that, other than what I said, but any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I think I don't think we have a motion, but we would take a motion this is on the agenda for the next Area Plan Commission meeting. I take a motion to send this forward with a positive recommendation to the full commission for their adoption. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
So I have a motion and a second to send this forward with a positive recommendation, and it will be heard at the next Area Plan Commission meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Now, what do we have? We have citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments? Ms. Kirkpatrick.
My name is Cheryl Kirkpatrick. I live at 801 Carrollton Boulevard, West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. I would like to apologize to all of you here for my behavior a month ago. I want to explain. I don't mean to raise my voice and yell at you. I really don't. I wasn't raised that way. Neither one of my parents ever raised my voice and yelled at anybody. But I also would like to explain to you that when I came to the last meeting, I was misinformed and did not understand what exactly we were doing. I thought, and had been told, I thought by someone, that you were going to pass the deal for West Lafayette, and it was going to be done and over with. And then you didn't do that. So I didn't understand what the heck was going on and got very upset. And I think you can understand in today's world, about 95% of what you hear is not true. And I'm an older person and I'm tired of people lying to me. All I ever ask for is, just can't you tell me the truth? And if you can't tell me the truth, don't tell me anything. So I want to say, yes, I know I have to be a loud voice when I, for 20 years, had a classroom of 36 kids who couldn't read, comprehend, or write in the 10th grade, and I had to keep them under control. So you better believe I had to raise my voice. And I managed it, believe it or not. But that's where it comes from, and I do not mean to raise my voice and yell at you. I'm just frustrated. So please forgive me.
Okay, you're fine. And maybe to follow up on that, I think the issue that it did not get passed is a legal requirement that we have to have a public notice of that hearing. And we went ahead and did it at that meeting, and the June meeting is as soon as we could get it on the full commission public hearing. And that's why it got continued for a further discussion, and now it has a positive recommendation. And I'm assuming it will get passed at, it doesn't make any difference whether it gets passed or not, it still goes to City Council, and it's up to them to adopt it, which I'm pretty sure that will get adopted. So my guess is the first meeting in July, the City Council will adopt that, and that will be the new ordinance, that Airbnbs in West Lafayette will not be allowed in the R1 zone. So it took them maybe another month, but it was just a legal requirement that we had to do. That's why it didn't happen. Any other questions, comments on that? Any other citizens' comments? Hearing none, I think we're going to be adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you.